Welcome back. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have supported and followed my work in 2020. It has not been a normal year for any of us. For me, it has meant every single day having the pressure to produce a daily biblical reflection. This has been an incredibly rewarding project for me. I've enjoyed it immensely, and within the next few hours, I'm going to produce my final reflection for 2020 and for the whole Morning Prayer project. In 2021, I'll be moving on to the evening prayer, so this project will continue. And when all of that is done, I'm going to fill in all of the gaps that have been left. So it will be a complete commentary on the entirety of the scripture. The other thing I hope to do within the next few days is to load all of my recordings onto a website which will be easily accessible for each specific passage. You'll be able to find the reflection and the reading, and you won't have to listen to the particular day that it was recorded for. One of the great blessings of the last few months has also been establishing a Discord group for which people who support my work are able to interact with each other, and I can interact with them too. We share recipes, photos, prayer points, and have discussions on various articles and issues of the day. The group is open for everyone who supports my work on Patreon or PayPal at an equivalent of $10 a month. It really has made such a difference to have such support, to know that there are people behind what I'm doing, praying for me and supporting me financially. It has made it possible for me to consider such a project and to make them available to people free of charge. The most important thing of this project for me has been to encourage people to read their Bibles more closely, to act as a companion for people on the way as they are getting into the text, maybe for the first time. If you or someone else you know is considering getting into the Bible in more depth in the coming year, then please consider following through these reflections. They may be a helpful companion along the way. What else does the next year hold in store? Well, one thing I'm hoping is to get back to a bit more normality in travel. Hopefully I'm going to be in the US in the summer for the Theopolis Fellows Program. I highly recommend that you consider joining that. It really is the flagship program of the Theopolis Institute. We get into the biblical text in great depth. We learn patterns and strategies of reading. We learn about liturgy. We practice liturgy every single day. We have matins, sext and vespers that punctuate the day of studies. And there is intense interaction between the people on the program and also the lecturers and the other people who are involved. The course will be particularly helpful for those who are in ministry or considering ministry or in some sort of ministry training. There are 2 residential periods in the year, the first in July and then the next in January. And then there is time in between where we get into text and detail in conversation together. There is also the possibility, once the program is finished, of doing an honours project supervised by one of the faculty. I've supervised a couple of these in the past year, and it's really been a delight to get into depth on subjects. In the nearer term future, in this year, I'm going to be teaching 2 courses, one with the Theopolis Institute on the subject of Sabbath. I'm going to be teaching this with James Jordan over the next few months. That's going to be 6 weeks of intense interaction and biblical study and lectures as we get into the real depth of the subject of Sabbath. The other course that I'm teaching is with Davenant Hall. That is going to be on the subject of Exodus and the shape of biblical narrative. Within that course, over 10 weeks, we'll be getting into detail on the subject of the Exodus. We'll be thinking about the way that biblical typology works, the way that the theme of the Exodus traces all the way throughout the Bible. I've written a popular level book on this, but one of the things I've long wanted to share is some of the deeper study that I've undertaken behind that popular level work. If you would like to learn more about that, please consider taking the course. I'm sure you'll find it stimulating and enjoyable. On that point, I'll wrap up. Thank you so much for the support you've given in the past year, for the time you've spent listening to my material. I produce so much of it that it really feels a great honour that people spend the time to listen. Thank you, and best wishes for 2021. If you'd like to support my work, I've put the details below, along with details of the courses and the programs that I've mentioned. God bless, and thank you for listening.